In today's video, I want to talk about lust, pornography, and masturbation. But before I talk about this topic, and I will be sharing my story as well in regards to lust, pornography, and masturbation. For those who have subscribed to my channel, I want to say thank you. But if you can look at my background, it's a different setup entirely from my previous videos. And this is because I recently, a couple months ago, I moved from California to a different state entirely. And you know how it goes with the whole idea of moving, having to settle down, get a new apartment, kind of like get my life together as well, get a new job. Because one of the main reasons I post my video is because I have something to offer the world. I have something to say. I believe I do matter, you as well do matter. While the subscriber, the view as well matters, but the main reason I'm sharing my video, I decided to open this platform is because there's a music that says wisdom. There's a music that says wisdom is better than silver and gold by Bob Marley. Because I believe as a human, we could die with our wisdom without sharing it with the world. But your gold and silver, you can never die with it. Someone else is going to inherit it or someone else is going to steal it. So that is the main reason I opened my YouTube channel, to actually, share my wisdom. Hopefully I could make someone else's life journey easier. Maybe they could learn from my own mistake and just kind of like make life easier for one another, because the society has already made the world a difficult and a hard place for us to live. So the whole idea of, moving to a different state, securing myself another job, getting an apartment. While I was doing all this, I was taking some time to reflect on myself, on my life as well, observing society, observing my environment. And to be honest, I was even observing YouTube and social media in general as well. I realized there's one thing this whole world, there's one thing society has always been after, and they are still after till date. It's your head. They kind of snatch your identity and replace it with something else. Your identity, which means who you truly and who you really, really are. They kind of give you, that's why when you go to your job, you have someone telling you how things are being done, kind of like clone you. You go to school, they kind of give you, a PhD, master's and all of that. That's one thing I just get to realize. The only one thing that is truly yours, your mind, your head. And if it's either you are aware or you're not aware, one way or the other, society is draining you out of, using you in a way. So it's either you stand up and make yourself be of useful to society, or society is going to use you. It's either way, it's either you go that way or you go that way. But one of them is really, really happening. That's one thing I've come to realize about society, because even with my phone, I realize, the phone itself has a way of actually cloning our brain, has a way of actually, making us, changing our narrative, our ideas as well, with the old technology. Because to me, I think the technology is even doing more harm than good to us in this modern day world. But that is a different topic for another day. But while I was doing, all this old moving, doing self-reflection on myself, I went back, I watched porn, and I did masturbate. And today, now I'm doing it with self-awareness. I'm aware I'm watching porn, I'm aware I'm actually masturbating. And today, I will be sharing my own story. The very first time I did try to share my story, it was a whole lot of chaos, a whole lot of mess, the humiliation, the disrespect. Society really do think, oh, it's because I grow my hair. Well, if you look at my profile picture, my hair have always been my identity from a young kid, even though I've always hated my hair from a young age because it's always been, so different. Why does he have that kind of hair? Other boys are actually cutting their hair. Other boys are doing, they're cutting their hair and all of that, Not to say, my hair really is something that makes me who I am today. I believe my life journey, the obstacle, the darkness, the old pain, the suffering, the rejection, that is what really shaped me. My hair, there are millions of people out there with locks, but who are not like me, I never grow my hair to please any woman, and I've never tried my best to please any woman. I've always done right by people, either it be a male or a female. Society say maybe it's because I start going to the gym. Well, that is not the case. I only was trying to change my life and actually put out my YouTube video concerning me working out and me sharing my cooking skills on my YouTube channel. That was why I told my story. But again, one thing I've got to realize is life will always happen the way it's meant to happen. Me as human, as a man, I can't plan my life. I can't have it all planned. Well, I guess you could plan your life, but most of the thing that happens to us is not really what we really do plan for. Life will always unfold the way it's meant to unfold. I think there's a Bible verse that says, a man plan his way, but only God direct his step. Because while I told my story, while I was facing the humiliation, I lost everything. I've never in a million years, it's been over 10 years now that I've been in the United States. I've never in a million years imagined or assumed that I will be homeless for one single day in my life. But as life would have it, as fate would have it, this happened. I lost everything. I found myself in the shelter. And while I was in the shelter, I was broken. I was crying like, how did I get here? Lord, why have you abandoned me? Why have you forsaken me? You know I'm a good guy. I have good intention towards humanity. I care. As much as many people say, do not care, do not give a fuck. I do care about humanity. You and I is what make this world what it is today. So I do care about humanity. So I was in a shelter. I was in deep pain. But during that pain, in that storm, I was able to find a purpose. Because if that never happened, with myself knowing the kind of darkness I was in, how sexually addicted I was, I wouldn't say I would be able to change or be free from lust if that didn't happen. Me ending up in shelter for a little bit over a year and a half. I was in a shelter. That's where everything really did change for me. Because while I was crying, I heard a whisper in my ear in the middle of the night while I was crying to God about why He has forsaken me. And one thing that I wanted to do was to show my YouTube workout and cooking skills. And doing this, the voice in my head just told me, I understand you want to work out. I understand you want to show your cooking skills. But look around you. There are millions of fitness influencers. There are millions of personal trainers out there. There are millions of cooking videos that you could watch on YouTube. But you know what they are not? They are not millions of you, what you've experienced, what you've gone through. They are not millions of you who can think the way you think. And that is what I want you to do. And the voice told me, now I do understand you love cooking, you love working out. That will be for later. But for now, I want you, what I've done in the dark, I want you to go reveal it in the light. And this kind of stuck to me because this was the only thing that kept me going. Because the plan the society do have for me, that they do spread rumors about my name, saying I'm angry at women. I think they just wanted to actually sabotage my name. And one thing I do also realize is the world do not really embrace good people. It's either bad or you weak. If you're bad, you belong to the world. If you're weak, they kind of use you, they stomp you down and everything. And again, this voice that I heard in my ear, kind of like kept me going with my life, because it was really bad, man, because I never in a million years would think or would imagine that would happen. But everything in life, even the fact that I got into prostitution, I watch pornography, I do masturbate, everything in life has a reason, has a purpose. All we have to do as human is understand the cause of it, understand it. So what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to learn from this? It's just to understand it. So, I did that, and that actually changed for me. So back to, me telling my story of how I got into lust and prostitution. It was in 2015, back in Nigeria, before I got to the United States. I had a female classmate. She was into my friend. My friend was, I hang out with the bad guys, man. I grew up without my father, and one of the things I've actually done is hang out with people who are taller than me, who are, I wouldn't say they are mature, but people who, kind of like, I would say more of like gangster, kind of like just try my best all this all while to fit in, to actually belong, So my classmate, which was a female, she liked my friend, and they got it kicking. I want to cut this story short. They got it kicking because the story is not really telling you about them, but it's about me. They got it kicking. So there was a day, my classmate, which was a female, she came to my friend's house, just to, we all I was hanging. They did have sex. But for some reason, my classmate let 3 of my other friend, random friend that she've never known before, she let them had sex with her. So in my own head, I thought, hey, maybe she's just in the mood of actually just having fun and giving it out. After my 3 friends had sex with her, they run a train on her, I went in the room to actually say, hey, you know what, it's my turn. Now, she told me with both classmates, she can't allow me to do that. She told me it's going to look bad and all of that. Back then, I could have actually blackmailed her to say, if she don't let me, I'm going to go to the school public and actually talk to her friends what she's done. Because, she's having a sex with a random guy that she's never met before. That is bad as a female. But I let it be, because one of the lessons my mama have always told me is to fear and respect women. So I let it be. Everything went down. But when I came out from the room, my friend, they mock me. They make fun of me, laugh at me that, the girl actually rejected me. And this was around December. I came into the United States sometimes in January 2016. And it was about time for me to start packing my stuff to head to the United States, while this whole thing really did happen, with the whole rejection. And one of my friends, the older one, did suggested, hey, it's now time you're going to the United States. Why can't you get a Nigerian girl to have sex with before you can go continue your life in the States? I'm like, hey, I don't have no girlfriend. How am I going to have a girl to have sex with without no girlfriend? And then he did told me, a place that he could take me to that, hey, it's cheap, just going to do it. That is how I got into, that is my first sexual experience. I was with a prostitute, and it was real bad. It was real bad. Because, let me just put it that way, it was real bad. Fast forward to the fact that I came to the United States. came to the United States, one thing that I've always known about myself, I know where I'm coming from. I've always been a hard worker. For those who know me, for the friends who have hung around with me when I'm in the States, they know even in snow, in storm, in anything, Elijah is showing up to work. And to God be the glory, I'm not the kind of man that do fall sick all the time. I keep up to date with my herbs, trying to stay healthy with my food. I eat clean. So I don't really be falling sick. So I work really hard, man. I work really hard. But as fate will have it, as the universe will have it, I met with a guy, another Nigerian guy. This is much more older, married with kids. But for some reason, I don't know, I can't really recall what really happened, but it was like, let's go to the club. And we went to the club. It was a club where, girls, they give you lap dance, you tip them off. And then he introduced me to this website. The website is called Backpage. Back then in 2016, I think Backpage right now is already banned. But back then, that is what I normally do use to actually get all these girls. But when he introduced me to this website of prostitute, I could, because when I came to United States, I was already 19. Even though, I wasn't that much of a smart kid growing up, I was having sex with random women. I could have actually withdrawn back, but one of the things that made me get addicted to it as well was the fact that, I got into, I feel like with women prefer men who tell them a lie. I won't say all women, no disrespect, but I believe women do prefer men who tell them lies. And with me, there's one thing with my spirit and my soul. My goal in life is not to be a perfect being. I can never be perfect, but to be real. The goal is to be real. And one quote that I do listen to that I heard a couple months ago was, the quote says, I prefer a thief than a liar. A thief is after my possession, maybe money, car, house, or maybe your jewelries, and all of these can definitely be bought back. But a liar is trying to steal away from your reality, trying to snatch your reality and give you something else. And to me, I've always seen telling a lie as a wildfire. It always starts very little, but over time, it do expatiate, it do get really wide that you can't really contain it anymore. So that's one of the reasons I got into, especially being a skinny guy, a guy with pimples. And again, I also do know where I'm coming from. I've always worked hard, trying to make sure my mama is good. And to be honest, the fact that I was into this sexual, into this prostitution, I've never been in love with any woman. It's always been about the sex. If my girl, there are a couple times, I haven't had a lot of relationship, but the couple relationship I've had, I've always cheated on on all the girlfriends I've had, because it's always been about the sex. It's never been the connection or being understanding to my other partner. It's always been about the sex. So whenever they can make it to me, whenever I'm in a relationship and my woman can't make it to me, I pretend to say, it's okay, no worries, do your thing. But behind closed door, I still go back to this website to actually get, my needs to satisfy myself. So just to give society the whole thing that women has never been my problem. I've always respected women. I've always feared them because I believe women, they are all our mothers. But it's just unfortunately what society is actually doing to this modern day generation. Because one thing I've get to realize that I've always known, because again, I grew up with a woman, with my grandma, with my mama, I grew up with a lot of women and I've worked with a lot of women. So when it comes to life, women will teach you more than anything. But when it comes to creation, men are the main kings of creating these evil things. Not to say women can't create, because women, they are seen there. I've always seen women are smart, they're intelligent, they're brave. At the same time, they are manipulator. At the same time, women prioritize their feelings than any other thing. A woman is never loyal to you. She's loyal to her feelings. So when it comes to life, women will teach you more than anything. But when it comes to creation, that's why all these evil men, evil leaders, they keep creating bad things and keep telling women what they want to hear, and women do listen. That's why this young generation, I feel like we going backwards, I would say, because of the creation of what these evil men are creating, telling women what they want to hear. Like I said before, the goal of this life is not to be perfect, but at least to be real, be honest, and I'm not going to say I've never told a lie. I've told a lie before, but one thing I've never and will never do in my life is to tell a lie to get between a woman's cheek. I will never do that, and I've never do that since the day I was born. That is not me. And one thing I've actually realized about sex, many people say sex is a soul tie. I don't believe sex is a soul tie to anything. For as long there's permission between you and her, you're good to go. You're not telling her no lies, even though many women want you to tell them lies. But that is not the case. It's not a soul tie. I don't believe, having sex is a soul tie or it's connected to any soul. Your only soul tie is what you think about yourself. The only limitation in this life are the one you put upon yourself, not sex. So when I got into, as that guy introduced me, I don't want to say his name. I think, I just want to be discreet on this. Hopefully society is not going to cast me out and humiliate me again. But I got into my first relationship. I wasn't feeling it. I realized women prefer men who tell them what they want to hear. And then I went back to this website and I went really crazy on it, man. I went really crazy on this website, and I got into pornography as well. But before I go into pornography, I just want to drag out some few key points that I did realize about, lust. I want to let you know that lust is a powerful and it's a real great energy that any man could actually possess, or maybe any woman as well, if you're into it. One thing I've got to realize is, especially the scientists say energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transmuted or it can be transformed. And lust itself is an energy that, sometimes even till right now, I'm glad that I'm lost. While many people say, the darkness is the devil, the light is God, being this man that I am, I believe I have to go through that darkness. I have to go through that storm before I could see the light. I have to go through the testing as well before I could see the light. Because if you've never been through any darkness, how would you differentiate what is good or what is bad? So I believe He is the God of darkness. He is the God of light. And you have to just pick a side. And I'm grateful to God that I actually went through everything I went through and I got saved. Because not many went through that darkness and came out alive or came out saved. Some people, the darkness actually consumed them. But again, I'm glad that I went through all of that. Everything in life has a purpose. You have a lesson that is teaching. So I want to talk about pornography right now. One thing about pornography, that I've actually noticed, because these past few months that I wasn't creating anything, I went back to pornography and I watched porn. I know it might sound crazy, but I'm just being honest with you guys. I watched porn. Now I'm watching porn with awareness. And there are 3 key factors that I realized pornography is trying to, implant in your brain. Like I said it before, the only one thing society is after is your true identity, is your brain. They're trying to snatch you, they're trying to snatch your head and give you something else scrapped. But one thing pornography does to your brain is comparison. And even in life in general as well, you can never compare yourself with no man. We are all unique, we are all different in our way. We all have our unique skills, our unique talent as well. So one thing I realize is comparison. You start comparing yourself with people that you've never met before and you probably would never meet in your entire life. You're comparing yourself. Number two, and again, I want you to realize pornography, these are paid actors. They are also acting. So you want that to be in your head that these people are also acting. Number two thing that I actually realize is pornography is trying to make you belittle yourself, thinking it's your size that do matter. Now, don't get me wrong. Women like what they like. I can't really say confidently, this is what women really like, But from my observation, women really do like what they like. And from what I've actually been through with sex addiction, I realize women prefer guys who actually spend more time with them in bed. It contrary to your size and everything. If you can't really perform, I don't care how much size you do have. If you can't really perform, she's probably not gonna actually rock with you. So it depends on how you use what you have with her. But pornography is trying to sell you fake identity, telling you maybe it's your size, maybe you're not lasting long for this so and so amount with her. It's really not the case. Every woman is different. Everyone is different. So it's never been your size. And I know women too do get addicted to this same website, but I think it actually affects us men because, with men, if you watch it so long, it can actually turn you into gay. It can actually reprogram your mind into turning you into gay, and it's really, 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 really crazy. Because I've always said, your addiction is a form of something that is actually trying to get to you, but you tend to avoid it. So I see people who are addicted as a leader, and not many people get out of it alive. So, pornography, that is what it's trying to do, trying to steal your identity and give you something else. So it's never about your size, but how you use it with her. And number three things that I actually noticed as well is a lack of confidence, it lowers your self-esteem. Because when you do masturbate all the time, 5 times a day, masturbating all the time, this is energy that is leaving your body. This is energy that you're just wasting, you're flushing down the drain. And over time, definitely it's going to affect you. You're not confident to actually speak to your fellow man. You're not confident in even approaching a woman to talk to her. So it actually slower reduces your confidence, and it lower your self-esteem, make you start thinking very, very little about yourself. And number three thing that I will be talking about is masturbation. And for me talking about masturbation and me going into masturbation topic, what I realize about myself, I realize, contrary to what society really do think, or contrary to many videos that I've watched, masturbation is not addictive. I'll say masturbation sometimes could be a form or a way of self-control, if I will be honest with you. Instead of you chasing, instead of you begging, masturbation is a way of self-control. I'll tell you something, a story about me. There have been different occasions where married women, they try to have sex with me. Their husband cheat on them. I was living in this 2-bedroom apartment, living in one room, and a couple living in another room. Well, the husband did cheat on the wife, and the wife wanted to take revenge. by actually having sex with me. I refused her. I called my friend. My friend called me a fool for not actually taking the opportunity in having sex, with a woman that is married. One thing I might pay money. One thing about me that my relationship with money, I've always seen money as a tool. You can either use it to do good or you can use it to do bad. I could pay my way and pay prostitutes to actually have sex with her. I could watch porn and masturbate. One thing I would never do, I would never have sex with a married woman. I don't care how down I am, how bad I want it. Once I know she's married, I don't even want to talk to her. I don't want to be friends with her. So when this happened, my friend called me a fool for not taking the opportunity and having sex with a married woman. And how I did get to find out that this, the husband cheated on her, because the husband finally came back home that night and they start fighting. Because I rejected the woman and the woman went to her room. She started crying, she was in pain. She was crying and everything. Then the husband came back in the night, then they start fighting, like physical fight. Then I called the husband, yeah, let's go for a walk. Then the husband did explain to me. That way I get to realize, many women do what they do because of the damage men have done to them. Like I said, when it comes to creation, men are the one creating most of the things you see. We men, we are the real one creating all this. Women are just following the lead. Women are just, spreading it out. That's what I would say. So that way, in that scenario, I was able to learn something, that many women do what they do because of their hurts. Many women do what they do because of their hurt. And women, they can actually go with plan A, which is heal themselves, get better, and move on forward. Or they can actually turn back to plan B, which is, using their body to do whatever. But again, these women using their bodies because there's something in them which need healing, but they are not healing. Instead, they're actually selling themselves out. So there have been 3 different occasions married women actually offered themselves to me. I refused, and I went back home to actually did masturbate. And when I tell you masturbation is good, I hope this video gets to the right person, because I don't want it to be like, oh, I watch Elijah video, Elijah say it's okay to masturbate, and you masturbating yourself 4 or 5 times a day. And one thing I've realized, without the technology, without the social media, without the phone, without pornography, I realized it's really hard for me to sit and just say, I want to play with myself. It's really hard. It's not motivating. It's not even interesting. It's super boring. But again, I still say masturbation, it's okay for you to masturbate because we are human and blood runs through our vein. And one thing I realize again is the fact that if you want to get from point A to point B, most of the time, not many girls will support you, not especially modern day girls. They want you when everything is done. They want you when everything is done so they could just come and just move in. But again, that's not how it works. But the reason why I'm saying masturbation is okay, if you're a man and you're trying to move from point A and point B, oftentimes you find yourself alone because no girl want to actually go through that rock bottom with you to actually see you all the way up. No girls want to go through that. And again, women requires more energy, more time and attention and everything. So I say it's okay for you to masturbate because I'll keep it real. It's a quick way of you getting that nut out of your system for you to get back to focus again, and instead of you chasing, begging, or kind of like deviate your time into women, it's okay for you to masturbate. And again, like I said, it's not motivating. It's not even fun. So you probably won't even be doing it that often at all, because this is me speaking from my own personal experience. This couple months that I've taken off, this is what I've done as well. It's not really interesting. It's not even motivating at all.